That's all you have to say?
It's a negative way to start off. I don't know why I was so combative right away with you, but people need to understand this.
Really? You didn't know why?
No.
No? It's a mystery to you?
Well, you made me move closer to you, and as soon as that happened, I felt all kinds of things.
Well, keep your hands to yourself.
None of them good.
No one asked you to...
You'll feel it. I've got the nails on. You will know if my hands are not being kept to themselves.
Hey dolls, it's me, Wilma Fingerdoo, with the Fingerdoo review of RuPaul's Drag Race Season 17, Episode 12. We're getting to the end of it. And I am here with my illegitimate drag daughter, Ms. Wilhelmina Boxfarts. How are you, Wilhelmina?
I've been better.
Well, I wasn't going to say anything.
But thank you.
Yeah. But before we get started, well, I've got some tipper-doos to thank. Jordan X, Not a Nightlight, Chuck, and the unofficial chair of the Bring Back Jorge Fund, Duster. We're working on a Duster. I'm not sure where Jorge landed, but we're going to defy the...
immigration.
Yeah. I didn't want to say it. I don't like to get too political on this channel. But we're going to defy everyone and bring Jorge back. Bring Jorge back. But that's not why we're here.
No.
So thank you all for your tipper-doos, but we are here for episode 12. Well, this was a big one.
This was a big one. It was a weird one.
Feel like a big one.
Yeah.
Because not a lot happened because of the Maxi challenge, but a lot went on with the queens while this was all going on. So, well, let's just get started with it. Of course, we kicked this episode off by, well, saying goodbye to Lydia, bless her little heart. And, you know, people were really sad to see her go. Like, there was a lot of emotions in the workroom.
Yeah, there was a lot of sadness. Everyone seemed very, other than Lana being happy for sending another queen home, everyone seemed...
Well, better her than her. The one thing that everyone agreed on was how congenial Lydia's mirror message was.
Which made me laugh, because 98% of these mirror messages are very congenial, but everyone still had the bitter taste of Arietta's message in the backs of their
Well, it was
throats.
Anya who brought up how nice her message was, because it wasn't too long.
No.
And it wasn't, she didn't press too hard.
She didn't break a lipstick. I just love it when they cover the mirror in lipstick, just to force...
one end to the other and really, really
enjoy
work
cleaning this off. Yeah.
I'm waiting for the queen that just covers the whole mirror in lipstick and then scratches out her message. That's going to be me.
Negative space.
Yes, I'm just saying. More ways than one. Of course, Anya was congratulated for her third win, first queen of season 12 to reach 3. Not that many more might, will. We don't know.
Who knows?
There's only a couple of episodes left where they can actually win. So, short of the crown, that is. But yes, well done for Anya.
Anya then called the rest of the queens out for giving fake answers to the "who do you think should go home" question. And she thought the weakest queen should go home.
Yeah.
And thought it was a cop-out that everyone was saying their biggest competition should go home. But Anya, if you're going by track record, last week, Lana was the weakest queen.
Yeah.
And you said Lydia.
Yeah.
So you're full of it as well.
Yeah.
Everyone's full of it.
Yeah. Well, I also think maybe she's looking at not just weak, but potential to get better or go further.
Still Lydia over Lana.
She didn't, but I think Lana's more of a classic queen, so it's easy to quantify her potential, whereas Lydia is, like, she surprised everyone with 2 lip sync wins. No one thought she would do that, and she really did a great job. So, I see what you're saying about Lana being the weakest, but I'll tell you, I'd much rather hear her say Lydia than everyone saying Susie Toots, because Susie Toots isn't even a front runner.
No.
Especially now with Anya in the front with 3 wins.
She's practically a has-been at this point. Yeah. Susie too, what have you been doing? Disappointing everyone.
Yeah. At least she has a hobby. Susie herself wasn't too thrilled about being called out by almost every other queen as the queen they wanted to send home, because she wasn't buying that she was the front runner and a threat. She just thought it was a conspiracy. To do what? Send her home?
It's not a conspiracy if they're telling it to you to your face.
Yeah. Just saying.
It's an open secret.
Yeah. No, it's popular opinion.
Yeah. Very popular.
My favorite moment of this post-elimination moment was Anya blowing Ariete a big, long, windy kiss in her general direction. Because, well, I'm petty and I like little acts of derision. Is that the right word?
Yeah. And you can't smell her breath through the TV, so
no,
perfect.
So I was feeling worse for the cameraman that it was hitting.
I heard 3 cameramen were taken out that day.
Yeah, boom. Yeah, if you listen, put on repeat, you'll hear them. Boom, boom, boom.
Camera 1, camera 2, and then one of the PAs.
Well, they jumped.
Yeah.
They didn't even pass it. They just, I can't live with this. I have to end it now.
And when it choked on one of Corey King's ugly shoes.
Oh. Corey King didn't leave any of her shoes. She can't afford it.
Next day in the workroom, Mr. RuPaul showed up in a gorgeous,
stunning silk screen on it. Yeah, that was beautiful.
And he immediately told the queens to pick the queen who gets you the most.
Yeah.
Lexi
did not choose Sam.
Did not choose Sam.
I thought for sure if I had money to bet, I would have said Sam and Lexi.
But Lexi, to her credit, was like, no, I'm going to... Lexi picked Anya because she's like, I'm going with the queen who's on a winning streak so that they can... A rising tide raises all boats.
Mama's hitching her wagon. Yeah. And well done, Lexi. Clearly there's a survivalist bone in her body.
Oh, and, the pageant queen who likes to, shenanigans in Sam should have embraced that. But
should have respected it and been impressed by her declarative gesture. But no.
Sam chose Lana. I didn't...
Well, that's all that was left because Jules and Susie literally just latched onto each other. I guess for Susie, they were the top that first week, so...
Maybe they thought it was going to be a makeover challenge. They could easily do father-son out of drag. RuPaul introduced the mini challenge.
Finally a mini challenge.
Finally. The queens had to write each other's bios for each other.
Right.
Mad Lib style. Fill in the blanks. Add a verb, add an adverb.
Yeah.
Say something about an anus.
This has to be the easiest way to write something funny.
Yeah.
I was excited for this. I thought more than a couple of them would do well.
Well, I was especially excited when they swapped cards and got to read their own bios out. So what a fun little treat.
Yeah. So Jules went first and read the bio Susie wrote for her, and it was all right.
Well, Susie thought that writing fierce for most of the blanks would be hilarious, and Susie just likes to run a joke into the ground.
Yeah. And it wasn't that funny. She was the only one laughing.
Well, they were showing us people laughing, but it's like you don't know when that's happening.
That could have been
the rule
any
of threes in comedy. Susie Toot.
Yeah, not
3
5.
Times.
Not
3
5.
times. You can eventually come around. If you do it 8,000 times, eventually it'll come back around again. Yeah. But rule of threes.
3 is funny. 5 is too many. Yeah. What was funny?
The bio that Jules wrote for Susie Toot was so
funny. I'm Suzanne Boots. This is how it started, and it just got better from there.
It was funny because it was honest and real and making fun of all the stuff that they make fun of.
I didn't expect Jules to be that funny. Not that I don't think she has a sense of humor, but I didn't expect her to be that funny. She's very clever with it, and well done, Jules. Yeah.
Yeah, now who's cerebral? Who cares if she doesn't know how to spell it?
She probably spelled it with an I, bless her heart.
Maybe cereal bull. She doesn't know. She's like, it's something about cereal?
She doesn't know.
Who knows? Bran flakes?
Could have been S-A, cerebral. Cerebral.
You're very cerebral.
Well, I try hard.
That's where the steam comes off the top of your head.
Well, it's not coming off the top of my head.
Try so hard. Oh. Lana's bio, written by Sam Starr, was slightly mean. I made fun of her cliffhanger toes, which is always a good time.
It started out all right. Like, it wasn't the best, it wasn't the worst. But then, like a lot of people do when they've lost any kind of sense of where they're going with something, she just went dirty.
Yeah.
And that's fine. I'm not judging it, but it's not as clever as being clever.
No, but when you're in your early 20s, it's funny.
Yeah. Sadly, though, Lana also kind of took that route by the end of hers with Sam's, but I like what she wrote for Sam more than what Sam wrote for Lana. So,
well, Lana also took pot shots at Joella in the bio that she wrote for Sam, so that's probably why it tickled you a little more.
Sounds like a fat joke, pot shot.
Everything sounds like a fat joke when you've got your mouth full of chips. Can't you remember all the crunching?
Oh, I tapped. Lexi read her bio by Anya, and it was funny. I thought Anya did a great job.
It was so funny. I thought Anya did a great job writing it. I thought Lexi did an excellent job delivering
Excellent
it
job.
so well.
Yeah, she really got what Anya was saying, and it was perfect. And on the flip side, I thought Lexi's bio for Anya started great, but it just became random and weird.
Yeah.
Like word salad, literally. So
definitely, yeah. I'm learning that Lexi's sense of humor is definitely not my sense of humor. Like,
no.
She was losing her mind. Anya did a great job reading it. Mm-hmm. But can't make a silk purse out of whatever ear
Maxi.
that was.
Yeah, I don't know.
And after all was said and done, the winner of the mini challenge was Jules Sparkles.
No shock there. And then it was time for the Maxi challenge. The queens would be performing in the charisma, uniqueness, nerve, and talent monologues. And to help them write their monologue, out came Bruno and his fuzzy pink box. The queens had to reach in there and grab a prompt card, which would give them a jumping off point for what they would talk about.
Jules got Out of This World, a tale of the supernatural.
Susie got Learned That the Hard Way.
Lana got Lost. Little Sam Star got Triggered.
Lexi got Payback's a Bitch, and Anya got Obsessed.
Ooh.
Well, I mean, that was the topic she picked.
Yeah. Although Sam was triggered by this entire thing.
Sam's been triggered for the last couple of episodes. Let's just point it out. Yeah, bless her heart.
It was at this point that Rue revealed the twist of the challenge. While one queen was delivering her monologue, her partner would be interpreting the monologue through the medium of interpretive dance. Hilarious.
Yeah. Nobody looked pleased by this, and yet at the same time, I couldn't have been happier.
I was very excited. I was like, this should be a super fun and dumb Maxi challenge. Yeah. I can't wait to tuck in.
And as if that wasn't bad enough news, because she won the mini, well, Jules got to pick the order of the show again. Talk about triggered.
I'm sure this is going to go very well.
Oh, yeah, everyone's going to be happy and no one's going to hurt anyone. Said no one. So right off the bat, well, Jules and Susie felt that this was theirs to win. They were the most cerebral and the most talented, and they both won that first talent show thing. So I guess they felt that they, out of the group, were the ones to beat.
We're going to win, yeah. Susie had a story about a spelling bee gone wrong, and Jules said that she didn't have any stories about ghosts, so she was going to
create one.
Talk about her inner child. I was like, okay.
Call it a ghost, which I was immediately worried for.
Yeah,
right away.
That's a bit of a stretch. Just make something up, girl.
Samantha was going to give her authoressness a full workout for this. She wanted, she was taking into consideration not just what she was saying, but how it would inspire movement. Sam
was very excited about this challenge. Lana was less excited to write.
Yeah.
And basically just sort of shared that she had a, religious upbringing with conservative parents. Like, oh, that'll be fun.
Lexi was excited because she had a plethora of payback stories that she could delve into, but unfortunately, it seems like none of them were okay to say on TV.
Yeah, she was worried that her life is just too over the top for RuPaul's Drag Race. And
I don't think she's wrong.
Probably, but just take one of those and change the words. Just dull it down a little bit. Instead of meth, say potato chips.
Yeah,
it'll
easy.
be hilarious.
Done.
Just swap out one vice for another, and it'll be so much fun. Yeah. Anya wanted to talk about being a spiritual vegan.
I've never heard of that before.
No, apparently it's like veganism plus a cult.
Angry veganism.
You can only cook when Mercury's in retrograde, and the rest of the time you're just licking rocks and
hoping that apples jump to their death so you can eat them.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, Anya also expressed some hope that Lexi's inner saboteur would just stay out of this challenge.
Yes,
for once.
Yeah. Yeah, because who needs to go through that again? Oh, I'm so exhausted. I know they were working in teams, but what I found interesting was how quickly Susie made the picking of the order a her and Jules thing as opposed to a Jules thing. Like, she seemed to really get in there, and that seemed to piss off a couple of the other girls. They were just like...
Yeah, they had a big chat about, should we do this strategically? Should we do this way? Should we do that? And I'm like, just let Jules make a decision. Jules gathered all the queens together to talk about the lineup. And no one really seemed to care where they went.
No.
So, I mean, Sam wanted to go last, so she was like, okay.
Yeah.
So Jules decided against being strategic. I did like that Susie's like, well, let them ask for what they want and then just give them the opposite.
And that's why no one likes you, Susie.
And that's why no one likes you.
Right there.
But also, there's so few queens left. Like, I don't think it really matters where you go in the lineup when essentially there's 3 spots.
Yeah.
No, there's not really 6 spots. There's just 3.
And there's no guarantee with interpretive dance added to the Maxi challenge that someone like, say, Anya is going to deliver the same way Shoei's does. So it doesn't matter who you follow. Well, at least that's what I thought. Once they'd written, sketched out their monologues, well, then they got into choreo. And, well, right away, Anya was worried about Lexi.
Yeah, Anya didn't seem to understand Lexi's story. So she's like, you know what, I'll just dance to the verbs. I'll just let the action words inspire my movement. Which, to me, that's how you should do it.
That's exactly how you should do it.
Yeah. Unlike Susie Toot, who seemed to be choreographing. I couldn't tell at the time if it was just her dance or
both of them or
Jules'
everyone in the
dances.
room,
Yeah.
but she was micromanaging
Just
again.
choreographing things to death. So I was immediately concerned for Susie Toot.
Well, I wasn't concerned, but she was in danger, girl. Well, Susie's strong-arming Jules was so obvious that Anya and Lexi were starting to see cracks in Susie's approach to this, and we're starting to fantasize about seeing a Susie Toot's lip sync at the end of this episode.
Yeah, they really were like, oh, Susie forgot how to have fun. Like Susie and Jules seem to be taking this way too seriously and have forgotten that they're in a drag competition.
Yeah, but I have to be so impressed by Lexi to see that. Like, you're missing the point. It's not funny. It's not entertaining. Like, you're still a drag queen.
Yeah.
And yeah, she just didn't say that very loud.
No.
She's not stupid.
She's not stupid.
She's crazy.
She's just insecure. Well, Sam Starr was dancing around in a red skirt and a
very
lantern.
Martha Graham. Very, very fraught.
Lana giving Sam a lantern, and Lana seemed a little concerned about Sam's interpretation. Sam was concerned about the lack of humor in Lana's story and was asking her if there was any way to maybe inject some humor. Lana seemed completely baffled by the idea of making this funny.
Yeah. When in doubt, when you're on a TV competition show, go for the joke.
Go for the joke.
Always.
Go for the joke.
You're never going to get kicked off if you go for the joke. Well, at least as long as it was funny. And then, I'm guessing it was Elimination Day. They didn't really say. They just started getting ready to perform their monologues. So I thought, oh, are they going to perform the monologues on a separate day and then do the runway? But that's not how it was presented. So I'm just going to say it was Elimination Day.
Lexi was really excited about the challenge, and she and Anya definitely seemed to be on the same page about having fun. It was such a refreshing change.
Yeah. I was really pleased to see Lexi feeling confident about what she was about to do, because it's not often.
Well, she won in speech and drama, whatever. She did monologues in speech and drama.
Yeah.
She didn't say when she had done speech and drama.
But it had been a while since she'd used that muscle.
I mean, is this a case of Lana being a freestyle rap champion in grade 3? Is this another one of those things? I was slightly concerned.
Yeah. One of the topics they were forced to discuss by production was what triggered them.
Yeah, Anya asked if any of the story prompts had kind of brought anything up.
Yeah, and I had a little moment with Susie because she's triggered by any discussion or talk about alcoholism or addiction and stuff like that. Sam Starr, after hearing this from Susie, she said, well, she had grown up with addiction in her family too. And then all of a sudden, because of that, she started seeing Susie as a person and a compatriot as opposed to someone in her way towards the crown. And that's growth.
Sam Starr seems to be growing a lot, but also Sam Starr didn't... I think Sam went into this assuming that he was going to hate everyone. Lana let us know that she used to be a professional clown.
Which Sam thought would help them to no end, but she said, not a mime, a clown.
Yeah.
We did mime in church, and then explained praise
dancing?
Yes, praise dancing. Okay. I didn't know that was a thing.
I didn't know that was a thing either.
But then I haven't been to church really ever.
Yeah.
So,
And I was very impressed that Lana did give us an impression. She needed some gospel music, which Anya provided, which was delightful.
Yeah.
And it just looked like, black church.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Jules let us know she used to be a pantomime dancer, which sounded entirely made up.
I've never heard of that.
I've never heard of that at all. Like, pantomime, yes, pantomime dance.
I think these were things that they created in their little communities when these queens were growing up to keep them off the streets, because I don't think it's a real thing. And then it was off to the main stage where Rue looked brilliant.
Gorgeous. That wig.
Oh, that dress. All of it. Fantastic. Yes, 10s across the board for Ms. Paul. T.S. Madison was back along with Michelle Visage, and joining them on the judges' table was Gerard Carmichael. So funny. Have you seen any of his stand-up?
No, I looked him up afterwards. I was like, oh, he's won Emmys. He's done this. He's done that. Like, he only just came out a couple of years ago.
Yeah,
so maybe that's why I wasn't paying attention.
In 22, he had a special on Netflix where he came out in the special, and a week later, he was hosting SNL. Like, it turned his career around. But very funny, very smart, and I was super excited to see him on the judges' panel. And then it was time for the Charisma, Uniqueness, Nerd, and Talent Monologues. And up first, Susie Toots.
I learned it the hard way. It was a cute story about being in a spelling bee.
It was very smart, very clever. The jokes were funny, but it was so boring. It
was too earnest and too light on laughs, and it was delivered in what I now have come to understand is the Susie Toots standard lady voice, which I'm over.
I don't like it.
I'm done. Yeah. I thought Jules did a fun, campy job.
She did a great
with
dance
her
for
interpretive
it.
dance. But I wanted more from Ms. Toot.
She forgot the humor. She was clever, but she wasn't funny.
Yeah.
That's all.
She was cerebral.
Oh, spelled correctly.
Spelled correctly and pronounced ambidextrous incorrectly, which was much less cerebral.
I will say I thought Jules' monologue was more engaging, but still not funny.
I thought it was less engaging.
Yeah, well, I just found her story, like maybe it was because it wasn't in Susie's voice.
Well, the ghost in the ghost story was the drag queen inside of Jules. Yeah. I was like, okay, I would have just made something up.
Yeah.
At that point. But as earnest as Jules' story was, Susie Toots' interpretive dance was far more earnest. She was taking this far too seriously.
I don't think she ever smiled once. She just had that generic look on her face, like she was waiting for a bus or something. And I was expecting so much more from these two. I mean, clearly so were they.
Yeah.
Thank God Anya and Lexi were next. Anya's monologue was first, and Lexi stole that show. As funny as Anya's monologue was, and it was funny, Lexi's dance was just stupid, and I loved every second of it.
I loved it. That's what I was expecting everyone to do. Just ridiculous stupidity. It was wonderful. She was a clown. It was glorious to watch. And it added to Anya's story. It certainly didn't take away from it, which it could have. It could have been a big distraction. But because Anya was so strong, it was just this wonderful extra sauce. It was so stupid. I loved it. Yeah.
And then I was worried for Lexi's monologue only because of how, she kind of ends up running out her own thought process into random areas of her mind. It was a good monologue.
Yeah.
Yeah. She had some great lines in it. She had some great visuals verbally. And then Anya danced the hell out of it. She did a great job. All the verbs were represented.
All the verbs. Every single verb. Yeah. In fact, even some of the adjectives were action verbs.
Yeah.
Good times.
That's talent.
That's talent.
Little Sam Starr's monologue was what I would expect from a pageant queen. It wasn't awful, but it wasn't funny.
No, it wasn't that, again, too much earnestness.
Yeah.
Did they forget that they were drag queens? Did they think that all monologues have to be sad and serious?
Well, I think they were trying to do the actual vagina monologues, which can be fraught with ennui.
But there were some very funny monologues in the vagina monologues.
Very funny.
Yeah.
But for some reason or another, the queens, because Rue even said in the workroom, humor. They have to have humor. And so I didn't hate Sam Starr's monologue, but I just wasn't interested.
I wasn't interested. No. I thought Lana did a very nice job.
She did a great job
with the interpretive dance. I think the props helped.
For Lana.
The fan was enjoyable. So I thought Lana supported her teammate very, very well. Mm-hmm. But Sam was just a little, it's fine.
What's sad is when they switched roles, I don't feel that Sam supported Lana's monologue as much as Lana had supported Sam's.
Yeah.
Because Lana's monologue wasn't bad. It just wasn't great. And again, too earnest.
Too earnest.
But not near as earnest as Sam's dancing.
No, Sam's dancing was just...
What was she looking for with that lantern?
Generous to call it dancing. And I get that Lana gave her that lantern and told her to carry it around, but figure out what to do with it.
Yeah.
And especially when you're going last, you've seen all these queens. You've seen Lexi. You've already seen the heights you
They
can go
had the
to.
sweet spot being last because they could see where they were wrong and what they were doing. And interpretive dance, I mean, it wasn't like they spent days choreographing.
No.
They could have switched that up on the fly.
Yeah. And none of your moves need to have actual names.
No.
You can do whatever you want. It's interpretive. Do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Interpret the story. Interpret the movement.
Yeah.
Ugh. Yeah, Lana was just a little too earnest and also just didn't deliver it well. It was just a bit stilted and we didn't. She did a better job dancing to Sam's story than she did delivering her own.
Yeah. The category is...
Ugliest dress ever! The 10th anniversary, 10 years of doing ugly dresses.
Oh, gosh. And
on
I'll
RuPaul.
tell you...
I just assumed they were all going to raid Susie Toots' closet, but that is not what happened.
Well, we don't know.
We don't know.
Could have happened.
We don't know what happened backstage. Yeah.
Speaking of Susie, she was the first one down the runway in what I looked at as more of an ugly costume than an ugly dress.
It was like she was a mascot for Christmas.
She was just a big Christmas tree, and her face was the star, the angel, I don't know what, because her neck was painted green. And it was, she even had tinsel from her arms, and I'm not saying that made it uglier or better or anything. It wasn't a dress. So I gave her a finger don't.
Yeah, it wasn't a dress, and really, and it wasn't ugly enough, and it wasn't drag enough.
Yeah.
It was stupid, but it wasn't world's stupidest dress.
Yeah.
Ugliest dress ever.
Yeah.
Next down the runway was Jules Sparkles in a recreation of her mother's 80s prom dress.
This was a cute dress. It fit her beautifully. I'm not talking about the skirt part, but the bodice part fit her beautifully.
Yeah, and it wasn't that ugly.
No, I've lived through the 80s, so that was what everyone wore. Like, that looked like everyone at my prom. Well, I mean, I didn't go, but that's what the pictures looked like.
It was very nostalgic.
Yeah. I mean, the ugliest thing on Jules' outfit was her hair and teeth, which really weren't her outfit. So I think she tried to do what she could, but clearly her opinion of the 80s is that the whole thing was ugly.
The whole thing was ugly? Yeah. And if you weren't there and you didn't understand, then
It probably was. Yeah.
It probably was. Yeah. In retrospect, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait till you see the 70s. Woo!
Oh.
It's a good thing you can't smell the 70s through any of the pictures.
Oh, I don't know. Some of those pictures. I'm going to give Jules a finger don't only because shame on you for dissing the 80s. Shame. Shame!
This is a distant past for her.
Well, she wasn't even born.
No. Not for like another 20 years.
Anya disappointed me because she also wore a costume. This wasn't a dress at all. I think she could have done a few things to it to make it look more dress-like, but she didn't.
She was dressed as a turkey.
It was just a turkey
It was
costume with
hilarious.
fabulous boots.
It was a great turkey costume.
Was it ugly? Absolutely.
It was ugly, but for a turkey costume,
it was gorgeous.
it was gorgeous.
Yeah.
It was,
She looked
she
great.
stoned
The waddle
head.
hanging off in the middle of her face was hilarious.
It was wonderfully done, but I was like, this doesn't feel like a dress. This doesn't feel like an ugly dress.
Yeah. So I gave her a finger don't, bless her heart.
Next down the runway, and another dress that...
I love this dress.
Yeah, I was like, I bet Wilma's going to love it.
Yeah.
She claimed it was all tutus, but was that really tutus?
No, they were crinolines. Yeah, no,
Just
tutus are a different thing, and bless her heart for not knowing that. But
Just
the
a
crinolines
big
are the things you
stick.
wear under a square dancing skirt, and tutus are the skirt. And then I loved her little fuzzy leg warmers, or whatever, on the boot, on
They
the
looked
shoes.
like little animal legs.
She looked like little lamb legs or something. I thought this was a great. She also had that gorgeous wig on.
Gorgeous wig. Like, did you borrow that wig?
Yeah.
Whose wig is
Was
that?
it an ugly dress? Yeah, but
Yeah.
I loved it. So I'm going to give Lexi a finger do because, well, it wasn't a skimpy little to the crotch only dress with a train behind it.
There was
so
no
yay.
train.
Yeah.
There was no train.
The trains ain't running.
Yeah,
You got to
no.
get a bus.
Next down the runway, Sam Starr doing an ode to Lydia B. Collins. That's all I took away from this. Sam thought this was ugly.
Most
It was
beautiful
like
thing.
a meat dress. It was supposed to be a meat dress, and she's like, "Is
I
it
can
meat
understand
gross?"
why
And-
she thought it was ugly.
Yeah, but
And
come on.
she made a lot of ugly faces to kind of push that it was ugly. But it was stunning. The workmanship of it. Oh.
I was not buying this. I was not buying this as an ugly dress.
If I were the designer who made that dress for her and she wore it for the ugly dress, I would have punched her right in the face. Well, I don't need a reason. But no, I'm just saying, like, it was really gorgeous. So
gorgeous.
I'm going to give Sam a finger don't, only because, like Miss Fame, she clearly needs to have a lesson in actual ugly.
Yeah, she did not meet the brief.
No, just because you don't like it doesn't make it ugly, little Sam Star. Just saying. Bless your heart. I was disappointed with Lana's dress, only because it was a borrow from Candy Muse, which we already saw in an ugly dress category. So what's the point?
I mean, I like that she brought it back. I understand the thought process.
Yeah.
She's like, I want them to know that I've watched this show before.
Well, Lord knows little Sam Star's been wearing some of Trinity's stuff, so I'm not saying you can't do it, but it just, for that category, wearing a dress that was ugly already once, I just felt it was a bit of a cop-out.
Yeah, I felt that she should have done something. Just something with it.
Yeah.
Be like, this started as Candy Muse's ugly pocket dress from season 13, but I've turned it into a Lana Jarret, but she didn't. She just maybe took it in a little bit.
It even looked a little better on Lana, maybe because she's so leggy than it did on Candy. But
it really did.
But still, yeah, I'm giving her a finger don't as well. Shame. Shame. And then it was time for the judges' critiques. Well, they were bored with Susie and Jules.
Yeah, there's no real surprises there. They thought their performance was boring. Michelle was very offended that Jules thought that her 80s dress was ugly. She really took that.
And so she should. Good for you, Michelle.
She was really like, no, we've spent our hard-earned money on those ugly dresses.
That we've earned at the mall to buy that dress from the mall.
Content. Rated in.
Everyone loved Lexi and Anya. Jared said that he could listen to Anya talk all the time. Beautiful voice. And Lexi's interpretive dance just thrilled Michelle.
It was so funny. It was so funny and so stupid and so perfect, and she totally got the brief.
Everyone loved Anya's turkey costume because it was hideous.
It was hideous.
It was hideous.
But it was beautiful. Beautifully done.
Yeah. That's how you make an exquisite ugly dress. Yeah. The judges wanted more laughs from Sam's monologue, and Michelle pointed out that her dress was the complete opposite of ugly.
Yeah, they're like, well, we understand why you think this is ugly, but it's not really ugly.
Yeah,
RuPaul gave her the note, like, you need to act the fool.
Yeah.
Which I thought Sam had learned that lesson, but clearly she can only act the fool when you give her the lines and tell her exactly what to do.
Yeah. She's better with direction. Yeah.
She needs a lot of direction.
Which isn't rare. Lots of people are like that. But still, I'm glad that Ruth said something to her, because she does need to give herself permission to
look stupid.
Stupid, yeah, exactly.
You must give yourself permission every day.
I don't ask for permission. I just do it.
Do it.
Do it till I'm satisfied. Which takes 3 minutes, really. I'm an easy please.
It's took an ugly turn.
Well, then
Speaking of ugly turns, could you...
I hate you.
You're just mad that I got there first.
I was in the middle of it. I got stuck at the gate.
Yeah, for Lana, they felt that she had no connection to her story. It was a very heartfelt tale, but she forgot the heart. They did enjoy her interpretive dance.
Yes, and I'm glad they complimented her on it, because she did do a good job. Yeah, just wasn't as good as Lexi. I'm just saying. Speaking of Lexi and Anya, they were this week's, when it was a tie. I'm going to just say I'm so glad Lexi got a win, because she was on the verge of hurting somebody.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad that Anya got a win too, because they both made each other's monologues better.
It's really, they really did.
Which was the point. Yeah.
I would have given it to Lexi just because I thought she had the edge on the runway. But I'm totally... This is my only problem with the shared win, is they have to share the prize money.
Yeah,
it is such...
And Anya's already got 3 wins, so wouldn't it be nice if she just let Lexi have all the money because she's already got 3 herself?
Well, RuPaul can just check her couch cushions for some loose change and just pony up some cash.
Well, she probably got that cash in her dressing room on the floor in the corner or something. Yeah.
He doesn't like it when you call him that.
Well, then she should stop doing Rue's makeup. Landing in the bottom, which really, who do you pick? Because there were only 3 teams.
You picked the 2 worst, which is what they did, Sam and Lana.
Yeah.
Sorry, You were the worst
Clearly
in the
Susie
challenge.
and Jules were going to be safe.
Yeah, because they weren't great, but they also weren't awful. They were just boring.
Yeah. And poor little Sam Star, you could just see her teeth starting to grind because Lexi had abandoned her. Here's her first time in the bottom.
Gasp.
And up against a queen who's been there 3 times and won 3 times.
So they were lip-syncing to Illusion by Dua Lipa.
I love her voice.
I love Dua Lipa.
Yeah.
She's a good time. Right off the top, I thought Sam at the edge because Lana's ugly dress was kind of hiding Lana's best assets,
Her
which
legs.
is her legs.
Yeah. And then Lana stepped out of her dress. She had that gold bathing
Tiny
suit on.
little gold bathing suit on. I was like,
Stunning.
gorgeous.
And
Sam's like, well, you know what? I can take off my dress. Sam took off her skirt, which just made the rest of her outfit look stupid.
Yeah, it was weird. Like, I thought she looked better in the full dress.
I would have kept it on. Yeah.
And it was a nice contrast to Lana naked almost.
Yeah,
so
keep your clothes on.
I thought for sure Lana had this.
I thought Lana ate this lip sync up. As soon as she got rid of that ugly dress, I was like, they did have a fun, coordinated death job, which I love.
Yeah. Yeah, they worked well together, but that's not the point of a lip sync for your life. And I really thought Lana had won it, but
I knew there was no way they were going to send Sam home.
No.
Sam's just too good.
Yeah.
She's too good. She's too polished.
Yeah.
She's too good. Lana needs more time to cook. She just needs some more time.
Yeah. So I wasn't surprised when the music stopped that it was little Sam Star who shantaed, and rightfully so, but disappointingly, it was Lana Geray who sashayed away. So there you go. Episode 12 done and dusted. Did the right queen go home? Did the right queen stay? Should somebody else have been in the bottom? Were you happy with this episode?
I was kind of bored by this episode. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
Other than Lexi and Anya, like the rest of the episode.
Yeah, it was a lackluster episode.
It was lackluster.
Yeah.
The lip sync was good. There wasn't enough going on.
There wasn't enough content, and they really did stretch it out and that, but it just yawn. But we are one step closer to the finale. We've got 5 top queens now. Who do you think is going to be next? Leave me a comment down below in the comments section. It's a good place to put.
That's a great place to put
a comment
section.
section. Yeah. And while you're down there, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't. These are the best 3 ways to support the Fingerdoo review. And I would like to thank all of you because subscribers are up and viewership has been up. So thank you all so very much. But if you'd like to go that extra step, you can also support the Fingerdoo review with a tipperdoo by using either the YouTube thanks button located just below the screen or my OG PayPal link in the description box down below. Also, down below in the description box is a link to my Patreon page where the Fingerdoo family meets twice a month for live chats, and a link to my Redbubble store where you can get Wilma merch, including the Wilhelmina Boxfart face. You heard me.
Just the face.
Just the face. It's gorge.
Put it on a toilet seat. Have some fun with it.
Thanks for joining.
Thanks for having me.
And until next week, it's us! Seriously. Yeah, I don't know. Who do you think's next to go now that there's 5?
I don't know. It's makeover week next
Is
week?
next week
Yeah,
makeover?
yeah.
Oh, bless. Well,
Yeah. I mean, there's not really any...
I'm still worried for Lexi, only
I'm
because
always worried
she's a
for
wild
Lexi.
card.
I'm always worried
She's
for
a
Lexi.
wild card.
Yeah, you can't predict from week to week what she's going to do.
Also, I'm wondering about Susie. I don't think Susie is going to do well in a makeover. That's my prediction. Just because I don't really like what she does with her own face.
So she's going to do that to another face?
Yeah, I think Anya's got excellent makeup skills, and I think she'll do really well.
I can't wait. The little clip of, I assume it was her dad,
What was that?
jiggling a breastplate. I was like, ooh,
So funny. Oh, they're bringing family, and that's hilarious. Yeah. Well, either way, I'm super excited for this.
I know. I can't wait to see where Susie 2 gets that forehead from.